Thanks for checking out this haul video. So let's go ahead and get into it. The Vinegar Syndrome releases for May that I ended up picking up from their halfway to Black Friday sale. Actually, first, the pre-order that they had starting on the 1st, and then the halfway to Black Friday sale. And I do have to say, a lot of people complain about the shipping for Vinegar Syndrome, which there have been problems with it just being very slow. I don't experience it as badly as some people just because I am a subscriber and subscribers get their stuff shipped first. But I will say that it seems like they have gone another step into making things a lot better with their shipping, because the sale ended on Monday night, and then Wednesday I got the notification that my package had shipped, which is hands down the fastest I've ever received it. Typically, they haven't even been starting to ship until like a week after the sale ends. So they're really getting on top of it. I think this is a big turnaround. But anyway, let me go over everything that I got that was part of their June releases. And then I'm going to have a separate haul video that is all the other stuff I ended up picking up during the sale. And a few things that I picked up a little bit before the sale. But just because it's a lot, and I just cannot do it all in one video. I really can't. So anyway, first I'm going to go over... Well, first of all, let me go ahead and show you the stack, because this is for the thumbnail. But let me go over first the adult titles through their Melusine website. I'm not going to show you much of these or really talk about them, because these are films that I will end up reviewing, but I'm only going to review them for members at my highest level of membership, that is Possession, which this is a good time to just say, like, please subscribe to the channel, please thumbs up the video, I appreciate that stuff. And if you want to pitch in a little bit, I do have memberships, and the highest level Possession will get short reviews for all of their Melusine release. Well, all of the Melusine releases that I purchase, which is a decent amount of them at this point. So you can only get that at the top tier level, which I think is $4.99 a month. But then you also get other videos available at that level. And then people at the lower tiers get some other things. But you can check it, link in the description. Right, that out of the way. So the first title that they released that I got was, and I got to put my finger over this to cover up the nipples, is A Girl's Best Friend, which is a Quality X release. Excited to get into that one and review it for my top tier members. The next one is one of their Melusine proper releases, which is Naked Came the Stranger, and I did watch the trailer for this one, and it does look pretty interesting, because the thing that a lot of people don't understand is these adult films actually had story back in the 70s and early 80s, and some pretty good story sometimes. So yeah, Naked Came the Stranger. And then the one I was most excited about, which is a 3-pack, because I had missed out the first time it was available, is Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls. That's the one I was most excited about. Hot Legs and California Gigolo, with John C. Holmes, also known as Johnny Wad to a lot of people. Oh, and I can show you the back of this, because there's no boobs. So there you go. I just have to be real careful with that. And there are some other adult titles that'll be in my second video in the beginning. Okay, so now getting to the other Vinegar Syndrome stuff. I did use my Media Club points to get something. I haven't been using my Media Club points to get much of anything. Just been kind of stockpiling them to get money off of my purchases. But when I saw that they had available the Ice Cream Man slip, which I had missed out on some years ago, I had to get it. I love this film so much, and I just really want to have the slip, because this is a great slip too. So excited to have that finally. Okay, now getting into their core Vinegar Syndrome releases for May. And I'm starting, as I normally do, with what I'm least excited about, and then the final one will be what I'm most excited about. And I already have watched some of these movies. I'll tell you about that as I go through them. So the one I'm least excited about, but still pretty excited to check out, is The Dark Half. I've seen this movie some years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago. I remember being like, it's fine. So I'm not super excited about it for that reason. But, as is the case with a lot of Vinegar Syndrome releases, they give it a lot of interesting extra information with the special features, with the essays, all that stuff. And a lot of their releases have essays. I don't really like this, honestly. Like, I know the reference to the film, like, it's kind of cool in that sense, but I don't like the way it looks for a slipcover. I do kind of like this. And yeah, just on the inside like that. So, Thad Beaumont is tired of writing trashy pulp novels under the pseudonym George Stark in order to make a living. Yearning to focus solely on scribing the intellectually stimulating literature he enjoys, Thad decides to literally bury his alter ego in a figurative attempt to finally break free of lucrative lowbrow temptations. However, George isn't prepared to be laid to rest and miraculously resurrects himself out of Thad's subconscious, fully transforming him into a flesh and blood double and going on a grisly murder spree straight out of one of his own novels. With the police convinced that Thad is behind the series of bizarre killings, he is forced to confront his inner demons and determine where the real Thad ends and the real George begins in an attempt to put an end to George Stark's rampage. This is a George A. Romero film, so a lot of people will probably be interested in that fact. It's definitely not the best George A. Romero. Oh, it's also based on a book by Stephen King. There is an essay booklet, which, all about these essay booklets. Like I said, they put a lot of essay booklets out with these releases in May, which I'm very excited about. So, The Dark Half. Next up, this was one of the included ones for my subscription. I did go ahead and purchase, because it wasn't included, The Golden Child. I've heard it's not like a great film. The trailer did look pretty fun to me. I've never seen it before. This packaging is okay. And I do have to point out, they already have a replacement disc in here. So I'm glad that they caught it that early, so you don't have to wait for the replacement disc later. So there you go. But there have been a lot of replacement discs lately. Not just with them, with some other companies as well. So we have this. I do like this artwork and this. Pretty cool. Obviously don't know the significance yet. And then there's the original. And on the inside, it's that little dagger thing. Nestled in the mountains of Tibet, an oracle known as the Golden Child has been born. Although guarded by the monks who raised him, villainous Sardo Numspa, that's a name, is determined to use the child's mystical powers for evil purposes and hires bandits to kidnap him. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, crafty self-styled detective Chandler Jarrell is approached by Ki Nang, a young woman the monks have sent to aid in their quest to recover the child. Informing Chandler that he is the chosen one, the duo embark on an increasingly strange and dangerous adventure into the supernatural underworld, facing strange creatures, magical charms, and the threat of death around every corner as Sardo does everything in his power to prevent them from uncovering where he has hidden the child. So, I mean, it looks fun to me. I saw a lot of people saying it's not a great film, but also essay booklet. Very excited. And if you want to see, there is some artwork on the inside of this. So there you have it. That is The Golden Child, which obviously I'm excited to check out. Plus replacement disc. All right. Then next, the one I'm next least excited for, but still excited for, obviously, because I bought it. This was not included, but the trailer looked really interesting, and this looks kind of like a Western, but kind of more art house and weird, and that is Charlie One Eye. This is from their VSL line. I usually am not big on Westerns, but it looked really different. Don't love that original artwork. And then there's a small essay booklet in there that I obviously will be reading. All right. In the harsh desert landscape of 1860s Mexico, two outcasts cross paths. Richard Roundtree is a former Union soldier, desperate and on the run after killing a superior officer. Excuse me. Roy Thins is a crippled Native American of mixed race who lives as a pariah away from any tribe. Identified only as the black man and the Indian, the two deal with mutual hatred and distrust before forming a strange partnership until a vicious bounty hunter played by Nigel Davenport finds his way to them. How long can they hold up in this brutal desert, stalked by both Davenport and Mexican bandits, and reliant on an uneasy relationship that borders on madness? It sounds interesting. Like I said, it looks even more interesting. So, yeah, Charlie One Eye. All right, then the next one we have is the cinematograph. Well, one of the cinematograph releases. I did not purchase the other one because it's like documentary, and I don't know. I just wasn't feeling that type of documentary. Looked like it was a little too heavy for me. So Richard Gere in Breathless, which I don't like the acting of Richard Gere typically, but I was convinced by Justin Liberty. I'm in a Discord with him through Ryan Verrill's Disconnected. He convinced me. He usually convinces me to get a lot of the cinematograph. I literally will ask him if I'm on the fence. Tell me why I should get this, basically, and he does. So he's very nice about that. Thank you, thank you, Justin. So Breathless, the typical treatment. I do like this like pulp novel or pulp comic artwork. That is cool. And then their typical booklet with essay in here, and it looks like actually like some script. Yeah, like some script portions or something. The essay segment is larger than usual. And then you have the UHD and Blu-ray. But yeah, I don't like Richard Gere's acting, but I was convinced on this one. And I did like his performance in Looking for Mr. Goodbar, so... Jesse, a restless and cocky common criminal with a penchant for fast cars, rock and roll music, and comic books, finds himself obsessed with Monica, a French exchange student at UCLA. On the run for car theft and accidental slaying of a highway patrolman, Jesse finds himself on the streets of Los Angeles, passing time in swimming pools, making love with Monica, and dodging the law that is closing in on him. It looks like one of those kind of like journey films that kind of like descends into madness, which I do like. So, Breathless. Interested in this one. Oh, and I haven't said this, but if you've seen my videos like this before, you know, I will be doing a wrap-up video after I get through watching all these movies, watching all the special features, and reading all the essays. It's a rating and review, ranking and review of all of those releases for that month. So you can look forward to that. And I put a lot of work into it, so it's appreciated when people watch it. Okay, the next one is a movie that some people were complaining was being released by Vinegar Syndrome. I don't get it. I like this movie. I have it on DVD, so this is a good upgrade. Dirty Work. And I already watched this. I already went through the special features. Did not get through reading through the essay booklet yet, but I am very excited to. And I'm going to tell you, this has a lot of special features. The movie looks phenomenal. And there's a new, longer, dirtier cut of the film, which is great. So if you are a fan of this film, you probably should go ahead and pick that up. I'll show you the essay booklet first. There you go. People you getting any of these references? And then this is the original artwork. And there's 3 discs for this one. Because there's a Blu-ray, there's a disc for the PG-13 cut, which was the theatrical, and the dirtier cut. All right. After losing his job, girlfriend, and apartment, lifelong prankster Mitch moves in with his childhood best friend Sam and Sam's cantankerous father Pops. When Pops has a heart attack, his surgeon, Dr. Farthing, delivers grim news. Pops needs a new heart, which Farthing will gladly secure in exchange for $50,000 to pay off his gambling debts. Desperate for a lot of cash quickly, Sam and Mitch realize that their joint love of causing mischief could be the perfect means for raising funds, thus opening a revenge-for-hire business named Dirty Work. With creative solutions to spiteful problems and chaotically doled-out retribution, clients are lining up, but when an evil local politician hires them to pull off an especially malicious prank, Mitch is forced to reckon with the consequences of his actions. If you haven't seen this, it's very much of its time. What year was this one? This was 98. So some humor that might not hold up for some people. I think the film does still hold up. I think it's still funny because I just watched it literally yesterday when I'm doing this video. And it's still funny. I still enjoy it. Norm Macdonald was hilarious. You know, Chris Farley's in it, who's hilarious. David Koechner shows up in there. Really like him. Artie Lang, all those people. But this so far, what I've gotten through, is a very good release. Fun movie. Then next we have a William Friedkin film that looks very interesting to me. And this is one I had to purchase an edition. Dirty Work was included. Obviously, Breathless was not. Jade, I had to purchase Or no, this one was a part of it. Sorry. Jade was a part of my subscription. My apologies. William Friedkin film. It's a very simplistic box art, but I like it. It looks cool. It reminds me of like some Roman Polanski stuff, like The Tenant and Repulsion, like in that vein. There is an essay booklet, which, you know, as I've stated, very excited about essay booklets always. Then here's more of the same type of artwork for Jade. Is a 4K. I like that. That looks cool too. And that's the discs. So let's read about this. When prominent businessman Kyle Medford is found murdered and horribly mutilated at his upscale townhouse, Assistant District Attorney David Corelli is brought in to investigate. After discovering that Medford had photos featuring the governor and a high-class prostitute, Corelli begins to uncover a complicated web of blackmail and perversion, connecting the business and political elite, and all leading back to illicit encounters they share with a mysterious call girl known as Jade. The deeper Corelli delves into the twisted details surrounding Medford's lifestyle, the closer he comes to unmasking a sophisticated killer who will do anything to hide the truth, including perpetrating additional acts of violence. Yeah, this one looks like a very interesting, fun ride. It's got that kind of like police procedural aspect to it, so pretty excited for it. Jade. All right, got two more. The one I'm second most excited for, which also was included, I believe. Nope, it's a VSA. It was not included. I purchased this one in addition. This one looks really good. I've heard really good things about these films. They're Hong Kong films. It's a trilogy of Iron Angels. Like the artwork on this a lot too. Again, we have a essay booklet, but it's essays the other. It's a weird looking essay booklet because it has to be shoved into this box. And that artwork. There's a poster. And yeah, there you go. All right. In the world of Hong Kong action cinema, Teresa Wu doesn't have the same notoriety as many of the other big-name directors. However, unbeknownst to many, she is responsible for bringing us one of the most exhilarating action franchises, the Iron Angels series. Filled with bone-breaking brawls and bullet-riddled action set pieces, Vinegar Syndrome, blah, 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 blah. That's all you need to know. Okay, then I'll read Iron Angels 1 through 3. The first Iron Angels. After drug enforcement officials destroy opium fields in Thailand, disrupting a global drug network known as Golden Triangle, the officers responsible for the raid are one by one targeted for assassination by the violent cartel. Unable to stop the bloodshed, the government turns towards an elite spies-for-hire group known as the Iron Angels. Saijo, the legendary Angel Number 1, is accompanied by two beautiful and deadly agents, Moon and Elaine, and the trio is then partnered with an American DEA operative named Alex. Together, they discover that the ruthless Madame Young has violently taken over the criminal enterprise, and the Iron Angels must stop at nothing to take her down. Soon, the agents find themselves in a bloody fight against Madame Young and her group of killers, led by her right-hand man, Mr. Chang. Sounds fun. Like I said, the trailer of the mix-up of the three looked really good. Iron Angels 2. The first one was AKA known as Fighting Madam. So the second one is known as Fighting Madam 2 as well. Now an Iron Angel himself, Alex goes on vacation with Elaine and Moon for much needed rest and relaxation after completing a dangerous mission. While in Malaysia, Alex meets up with two old friends, Peter and Marco, to enjoy some laughs and reminisce. However, the stakes become deadly when Alex discovers that the CIA is secretly investigating his wealthy friend Peter for funding a government coup. To make matters worse, Elaine has fallen for Peter and soon finds herself held captive by his private army upon discovering his secret. With the help of Iron Angel Karina, Alex and Moon must head into the jungle to get Elaine back, culminating in a bloody showdown between the Iron Angels and Peter's private army. And then Iron Angels 3, which was known as Return of Iron Angels. The Iron Angels are back once again, this time to stop an international terrorist organization hell-bent on starting a war between Thailand and Vietnam. Moon must go undercover as a deadly assassin to infiltrate the terrorist group as they are planning to assassinate several high-ranking government officials. In the meantime, Alex and Karina are partnered with a young newcomer named Kwai and a tech specialist nicknamed Computer to assist Moon. However, after losing contact with Moon, it is up to the other Iron Angels to try and stop the assassinations before it's too late. When the group gets word of a potential attack at a government summit, Alex and Kwai jump into action and quickly find themselves in the middle of an all-out battle. Good thing they are armed with machine gun-mounted jetpacks, which, yeah, sounds great to me. Yeah, this sounds fun. I'm stoked. Very stoked to check these out. Now, getting this back in, usually a little challenge. Iron Angels 1 through 3. All right, now we're coming to the last film, and this one I was so excited to see that they were releasing. I was also excited to find out this was included with my subscription. This is a very underrated film and an underseen film. A lot of people, when I try to talk to them about it, it's like, I've never even heard of that film. From the 70s, Let's Scare Jessica to Death. This is also one of Stephen King's favorite horror movies, and I can easily see why. I saw this movie a few years ago for the first time, maybe 5 or 6 years ago for the first time, and quite enjoyed it. This is one I have already watched at this point. How it looks, how they cleaned it up, they did a great job. I enjoyed this film even more the second time. It's one of those films that you get more out of the more you watch it. The feel of this. I don't want to go into reviewing it too much because that's for that video of ranking and reviewing, but this is a great release. At the moment, I'm just going to tell you right now, at the moment, this is their best release this year so far, in my opinion. But yeah, let me show you more of this. At first, I was like, this is a little overly simplistic. I don't know how I feel about it. But the more I look at it, and I love the color choices, I like it. I like it. Essay booklet, which banging essays in this. Amazing essays for this one. Special features also really good for this one. Which goes into why I was saying, this is like the #1 release. We have this. Although I do have to point out that they screwed up. You see that crease, this crease line here? That was put in here folded. So that's a mess up on their end. Also, I need to point out that there's a packaging error here. You see the shape of this? You see the shape of this? It's like a notch. You can see it. Whoop. You can see it better like that. You see that? I don't send those things back, though. It doesn't matter that much to me how they show up. They show up. I'm fine with it. But there are a lot of people who would have issue with it. But anyway, there's Let's Scare Jessica to Death. The discs. Love that it's in 4K. Recently released from a mental institution, Jessica, along with her husband Duncan and friend Woody, have decided to move into an isolated farmhouse in search of a fresh start. When they arrive there, however, they discover a young woman squatting on the property. With the group deciding to let their unexpected guest Emily stay with them, Jessica soon discovers that their new companion bears a striking resemblance to a girl who drowned in the nearby lake many years ago, and who, as a local rumor has it, now haunts the area as a vampire. At the same time, Jessica begins to experience strange and frightening visions. Is she once again losing her grip on reality, or is something even more strange and sinister afoot? Again, this is a very good movie. I'm all about it, especially after this release of it, because it adds extra context. But anyway, Let's Scare Jessica to Death, my #1 that I was excited for, rightfully so. All right. I have that second haul video coming up, I think the same week that I'm dropping this one. We'll see. So you can see the other stuff I picked up during the sale. So yeah, go ahead, thumbs up, subscribe if you want to do membership, all that stuff. But also, put in the comments what have you picked up recently. Doesn't have to be physical media related or horror related or anything, just whatever you're excited about. And thank you so much for taking your time to watch this. Until next time, keep it brutal.